like Florida man uses alligator to shotgun a beer while cranking Leonard Skinner.
Yes.
I think that's pretty good on mine.
I need a party with that guy. I need a party with that guy.
He might be at the show. That's
He's probably gonna. Guy, if you're listening, come say what's up. Come shotgun a beer with me. Let's do this.
yeah. Without any further ado, we are so honored to welcome at this time the one and only Dale Stewart. Golf claps, golf claps.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
It's going very well, thank you. How you guys doing?
Better now. Very excited. Been looking forward to this.
Absolutely.
Super stoked. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Dale. Great to have you here, big guy.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first, I think we have to, I think you're frozen, but we will wait for it to unfreeze because this is what happens. We have to commend you on your backdrop, all those beautiful guitars. Absolutely stunning. Very gorgeous.
Thank you. This is kind of what people would call a man cave, generally. I hate that term, man cave. So I call it my masculatorium. If that makes any sense. You know, where I've got like fishing tackle and guitars and music stuff. My masculatorium.
And the cafeteria, the cafebroria. It's the cafeteria.
It's not even a word, but it just seems like it should be a word. So.
It is now. It's actually going to be Webster's Word of the Year next year. I just researched. Okay, so
I would hope so.
Well, Webster's watching now. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to start off by asking, what was the music scene like growing up in South Africa?
The local scene was pretty small. It's actually still kind of small, especially when you compare it to the States or the UK. Those sort of bigger markets. But the fans were very passionate and diehard and very proud of the band that were around. And doing this scene. The thing is, though, there were only that many venues to play and that many people to come watch you play. So most bands, they had kind of a shelf life of, maybe 5 to 7 years, even the bands that did really well. And it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll quit now and go get real jobs and everything. It wasn't really a realistic sort of career path over there. Which is why, we decided we needed to try and get overseas and go play there. But yeah, I'd like to think that the scene's grown a little bit and local music's looked at, as, a bit cooler than it used to be. When I was a kid, you know what it's like. I think people, or just kids in general, are like that. Like, oh, my town sucks, and this is so lame, and and it was like that in South Africa. It was like, oh man, South Africa sucks. Local bands are, local bands suck and the whole thing. And so there was definitely a lot of that. But I feel like nowadays there's a bit more of sort of local pride, and that's very nice to see, because that wasn't necessarily the case when we started out there.
Dale, you bring up a great point. I mean, especially in today's culture, it's almost super punk to do live music nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, it's not nearly as accessible as it was before. And there was definitely a period of time when the internet kind of took over in the digital landscape, and people no longer had to go to these dingy, music halls to see their favorite band. You could I'll just watch it on YouTube. And so now I definitely agree that there's probably like a resurgence of like, oh, it's kind of cool to see live music again.
Yeah, I think so. And especially now, after the COVID thing, where people were forced to live almost exclusively, on our phones and in cyberspace, basically. So we've been doing a couple shows again, now that things are finally opening up, and they've been really well attended. People are having a great time. And I think people are just so happy to be in a room with other like-minded folk, just getting drunk, listening to music, letting your hair down a little bit. You can't really replace that. And as cool as it is to have access to music and videos and all kinds of things 24 hours a day, seeing it live and feeling the energy and the atmosphere of the show, and the smell of the beer on the floor of the club.
That's
and,
right.
I mean, it's just all these little things that just make it cool, and nothing can replace that. So I don't think that'll ever go away. Well, I hope not, at least, because that's what we do. It's what we love to do, and I'm just so happy that we can get out there and do it again. It's been nice.
Yeah, actually, I think you guys are in my town this weekend. You're coming to South Florida, so that's pretty awesome.
We are, yeah, and I actually live in Savannah, Georgia, so it's not that far from me. So I've got some friends coming down to the Jacksonville show, and then after that we're heading south. So yeah, it's I feel like an honorary Floridian. So
we welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, if you're looking at the screen there, those dates coming up. He's got Daly's Place on the 14th, and that's the AEW hub for all you wrestling geeks out there. Daly's Place.
It is.
15th at the Hard Rock Live Orlando, and the 17th at Misner Park Amphitheater.
Meisner Park, that's right.
Meisner Park, excuse me. Stupid West Coast indeed. I have no idea.
I thought it was Misner as well. So
no, it's Meisner.
Thank you.
No, and you're gonna love it there. It's really cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think if we've played there before. It's we've been doing this so long. I feel like we've played pretty much everywhere at this point. But every now and again, you'll get to a place and it's like, oh, somehow we've avoided playing here or not been invited to play here. So it's nice to play those new places.
Last time you played Misner Park. This time it's Meisner. So
yes, exactly.
Yes,
new to me.
Yeah.
It's Ebenezer Scrooge to some people. It's Ebenezer to others. So
Ebenezer, potato.
It's a whole different debate.
Dale, what's your first memory of making music and it making an impact on your life, when something that you saw or witnessed that really, like a moment in time when a specific song or artist just resonated with you and you were like, this is it?
I mean, I remember, music really resonating with me at a very young age. I was fortunate to have parents that had, decent music taste. So, when we'd put on an LP at night and listen to music, it was, Bob Seger or Cat Stevens or Simon and Garfunkel and good stuff, luckily. So I just, Gordon Lightfoot was another one of my dad's favorites, and
Lightfoot,
and I still listen to that music. I still love it. But I remember even at a young age, like 5-6 years old, just really enjoying the music but also understanding music. I've always kind of, had a knack for music, or I think some people's brains just, are geared towards that more than others, maybe, and so I always kind of had a feel for it, I think. Well, I'd like to think I did. But yeah, that was very early on. Thank you. But in terms of recording music and being in the music industry, I think the most sort of significant moment was the first time we heard a demo of ours on the radio. And there was this DJ in South Africa, and we didn't have a rock station or anything, but he had a show on the local pop station, and late at night he'd play these, rock songs and metal and all this stuff from the States or the UK, and that's how we found out about a lot of the new bands. But he announced, it's like, hey, if you have a demo, bring it to me. If it's good, I'll play it on the air. And we recorded this demo, and we took it to him, and he played it, and the response was great. So he kept playing it. And that's a big part of how we got started out in the music industry and eventually got signed, was through him playing the song and people hearing about us on the radio. But the first time hearing it, and was this just, crummy demo, just terrible quality, but we were so excited and so proud. And I mean, even now it's exciting to you when your song comes on the radio, but the first time you do, it's an adrenaline rush. It's exciting. It's an extraordinary feeling. That really stands out to me still. I think back to I know exactly where I was. I was in my car driving with the radio on, and it came on, and I was just freaking out. It was awesome.
Never
Wow.
forget stuff like that.
I
Never forget.
know.
No.
I literally have chills. That's good. That's amazing. So what was actually like the first instrument that you ever picked up? Do you remember, or did you immediately go right to bass? Or
No, I picked up guitar first. And it's funny because I actually wanted to play violin for
cool.
whatever reason. And I still love violin. It's a beautiful instrument. But my parents decided that a guitar would be a bit of a better, Christmas present or whatever it was.
They're like, we don't want to listen to him practicing the
Yeah,
violin. We'd rather
violin.
listen to him practicing the guitar.
I was wondering about the drummers out there. Like, wait, so your parents bought you a drum kit? Like, what were they smoking?
What were they thinking? Right?
I mean, come on.
They must have a separate house or something to let them practice
exactly.
in.
Yeah,
Like,
if you live in a giant mansion and put them in the one wing, it's okay.
In the West Wing. Yes.
The West Wing.
Yes.
I got a drum kit, and 9 months later, I had his brother and his sister. I didn't understand what happened.
But yeah, I started playing guitar, and then I played guitar all through my teen years, and messed around and dabbled, and I started playing bass when it was actually right out of high school. I had some friends, and they had a band, and they said, "Hey, we need a bass player, and can you do it?" I said, "Well, I can't play bass. I play guitar." And they're basically like, "Well, I mean, it's really kind of the same thing, just two fewer strings." Excuse me. So, and our singer had a bass, and so she lent it to me, and I went and started playing bass, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then actually in that band, my guitar player, his sister was dating Sean, and that's how I met Sean. And then when my band kind of broke up, and in the meanwhile, Sean had joined what would become this band now, and they needed a bass player. I was literally the only guy he knew that played bass, so he called me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to come jam?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool. I've got nothing better to do." And that's how I met him, and how we started playing together. And here we are, 20 something years down the line.
Oh my gosh. That's
2 decades, man, of Seether in the house, bro.
I know.
Vicennial anniversary is out October 15th, by the way. You got that? See, there it is. Nice segue. Woo!
Yeah, very, very smooth. I like it.
Absolutely. And you can get that on all platforms. That's available on Amazon, Spotify, Deezer, Walmart, and of course on independent record stores and other places you buy music. Dale, in your catalog, what's your favorite song that you love to play? Do you have a couple favorites? Is it Careless Whisper? Is it?
I do like playing that song, but it's funny. We're at the point now. We've had enough sort of radio singles, or even enough number one singles, to where we have enough of our own music to play without throwing in covers. So that's not one we normally play live. But yeah, there's a lot of songs that I do really enjoy that we don't play live because they weren't necessarily singles. But yeah, of the singles that we do play, Remedy is always one of my favorites because it gets such a great crowd response. I enjoy playing Broken because I play guitar on Broken. So that's a little throwback to my old guitar days. Yeah, there's a couple oldies but goodies there that don't get old.
So much great stuff to pick from in that catalog too. It's supposed to be hard to just pick one, man.
Yeah,
so many great songs.
Coming up with a set list becomes hard because there's songs that people want to hear, songs they know from the radio. So after you've been doing it a while, your set is almost dictated by all these just radio singles. So we've got a lot of like super heavy stuff that we don't end up playing because it's sorry, I've got a frog in my throat today. Because people come to hear the radio stuff, so that's what you got to play.
What a problem when you have too many hits, right? Just like
that's a good problem to have. Yeah.
Good problem to have. I love it. Well, since you are currently on tour, obviously there's a couple days when you do get to have some time off, probably not much, but is there a way that you do like to pass the time when you're traveling for a tour?
Yeah, I like to fish every chance I get.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
so
exciting.
I have a little travel rod in my suitcase, and if we have a day off that's near a lake or a river or the ocean, hopefully, I'm out there and I've got my little rod and I'm fishing. Even show days, if there's like a dam or even a pond next to the venue, I'm in there and I'm fishing. And yeah, it's just that's what I love to do. It's when I'm home too. I pretty much fish like it's my job.
Fishing can be
That's
extremely
what got me through
cathartic,
the
by the way.
lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fishing and whiskey got me through this lockdown. So,
It's
but
a
yeah, no,
great combo.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, that's kind of what I do. And backstage can get very boring, and you can only play so many video games and watch so much TV, and then I kind of get cabin fever, and I have to get outside and do something. So that's my go-to.
So, any tips you would give to somebody that is maybe a beginning fisherman, fisherwoman?
Fisher person.
Fisher person.
Fisher person. Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Fishing is so part of what makes it great. It's so unique. Every body of water is different in its own way, and you really need to learn how to fish for the different species. But I guess the main thing is to do your research. Read as much as you can. There's great YouTube channels now, which I wish I had as a kid. Just to learn different techniques and how to target different species. But yeah, the more you know, and the more you can steal from other people's knowledge and experience, the better. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some good places in Florida. I can guarantee it.
Man,
there are.
Crazy times.
Yeah, we have a day off in Boca Raton, and we're gonna be off, and I've already been on Google Maps. That's another one, for the kids at home. Get on Google Maps, and you can get in there, and you can kind of see the water and the good spots and where the structure is. So I've already been on the map. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fish there, I'm gonna go there, and I've like planned it all out. So
that's so exciting. I bet that's like just as exciting. I love that.
The planning is exciting because sky's the limit. You don't know. You don't know what you're gonna catch. But I'm hopeful. I'm positive, and I'd like to think I'm an optimist. So yeah, awesome. Part of the fun.
So Josh, why don't you ask another question? I'll see if I can get one in, and then we'll play the game.
Cool. So you're headed to Florida, which is the land of wonderful people and the land of crazy people. So we can say with confidence that what's one of the craziest interactions you've had with either a band or a fan or something on stage? Give us what's a crazy story? What's one that comes to mind, maybe?
Craziest interaction with a fan I don't know about on stage, but
okay.
And there's probably a lot that I can't, speak about in public.
The X-Files, but
maybe
a Z-File.
The triple X-Files. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think maybe like maybe signing someone's like prosthetic leg, which was kind of weird.
Tattoos of signatures. I've seen stuff like that.
People have done that before. Like, hey, sign my back, and then you see them again, and they've like tattooed it on themselves. And I mean, it's incredibly flattering. It really is, but it's just not something that I do. Not something that I do myself. But yeah,
you better have a good signature.
We've got some really dedicated fans, but yeah. But we've got some dedicated fans, who they'll come from massive distances to come watch us play and come to multiple shows and get the band name tattooed on their body. And I can't think of anything crazy like right offhand, but I'm sure there's as soon as I
there's this week in Florida.
It's going to be like, yeah, Florida is crazy, man. Like whenever the craziest things happen, it's always Ohio or Florida. I've noticed that. Always. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm like, okay, it's one of those two.
It's the heart of America. Both of those.
Yeah. It's going to be Florida man goes to Seether show. I can't wait to see the headlines that are going to be going out.
My buddy who lives down in Tampa, actually, he's like, oh, well, it's the Florida man game. I said, what's that? He said, well, you get on Google, type in your date of birth and Florida man and see what comes up. So I typed in 30th of November, Florida man. And sure enough, it was something like Florida man, robs, car dealer without pants on, or it was something along those lines.
That's just a Tuesday. What do you?
Yeah, it's another
Florida
Tuesday
man found in Petco swimming in aquarium.
Exactly. But yeah, you type in, the day, your birthday and Florida man, and I'm telling you, without fail, some news headline comes up that's just bonkers. Yeah,
I'm doing mine right now. Okay, let's see if I get anything good.
Tell me what it says.
Florida man. Okay, March 5th. Let's see. Florida.
There's 2
that popped up. I'm just going to read the headlines. The first one says, You gotta smoke a bowl with me, please. Florida man invites police to smoke pot while showing off his marijuana plant. Good. And the second one is Florida man arrested for exposing himself at CBS.
Oh, mine's pretty bad. A lot of mine is like domestic violence on this day, but there's one that's like Florida man uses alligator to shotgun a beer while cranking Leonard Skinner.
Yes.
I think that's pretty good on mine.
I need a party with that guy. I need a party with that guy.
He might be at the show. That's
He's probably gonna. Guy, if you're listening, come say what's up. Come shotgun a beer with me. Let's do this.
Leonard Skinner. All right. Well, we do have a game that we're going to play, Dale, before we let you go and before we finish plugging all the upcoming stuff. So this is a game of Would You Rather. There's no wrong answers here. So, Josh, you want to read the first one?
Absolutely. Dale, would you rather have to eat boba tea every day? Looks like a variation of shepherd's pie there, or have to eat biltong and drowas every day? Your teeth would hate the biltong, I think.
I'm like a biltong addict. I make my own because it's hard to find. So I make my own. So it's we call that bobotie. It's actually very good.
Bobotie.
And then biltong and droewors, which is dried sausage. So definitely the biltong and the droewors.
My American accent just butchered that shit. I'm so sorry.
That's like my favorite. That's like a death row meal. It's the whole big bowl of biltong.
I love it. Yeah. You're like Boba Fett and Billy. No, that's right.
I'm salivating. I'm salivating right now.
All right, we'll go to the next one. Okay. Would you rather have to incorporate a bagpipe into Seether or incorporate a melodica into the band?
A melodica. Wow. I'm going to say
it's a picture of Jude, but
being a Stewart, being Dale William Stewart. I come from Scottish heritage, so I'm going to say bagpipes.
Right.
Yeah, even though Korn did it first, but I think Seether might sound cool with a bagpipe.
They made it acceptable. Korn made it to be like, when you hear bagpipes and metal, it's going to work. Like,
yeah.
There you go. AC/DC too. So, all right.
Okay, good point.
Next
okay, Dale, would you rather play an entire song with your bass out of tune? Or this one, I would bet. So play an entire set with the monitor a half beat behind on that delay shit. Ooh.
Probably with the monitors with a half beat delay. I feel like I'd be able to shut that off and
just listen to your earpiece.
Just kind of play, but an out of tune bass, you can't fix that.
No.
Unless you can kind of figure out how much it's out of tune and which strings are, and then transpose it on but I mean that's almost impossible. So but if you know the songs, you don't necessarily have to hear them to pull them off. So I'll say the delay. That was hard though. I had to think about
These are not easy. Okay, would you rather only be able to listen to music from the 60s or only be able to listen to music from the 80s?
80s, definitely. I'm an 80s kid. I was born in the very end of the 70s, but grew up in the 80s. So I love 80s music. I listen to a lot of it. As we all do, we all listen to
As we
music
all
from
do.
our youth. So yeah, 80s. I love 60s too, though. Great music, but definitely I'm gonna pick 80s.
60s is gone. You got rid of it. Only 80s from now on,
Love
Dale.
it.
Only
That's
80s.
it.
Is.
Only
Only
80s.
80s. All right, next one.
Moving along, Dale, would you rather never be able to listen to your guilty pleasure album again, or have to perform with an artist whose album you're embarrassed to admit owning? Like Circus Polka, Echar Estilo, Tijuana Sauerkraut.
I'd probably perform with the one I'm embarrassed. I don't even know who that would be. It would probably be terrible. But I love playing music, and I enjoy playing with other people with other styles and influences and things. So it could be interesting. Maybe something good could come out of it. So
you never know. The Florida Man Band.
I'll
The
jam.
Florida Man Band.
I'll jam with the Florida Man Band.
All right, we got two more, then we gotta let you go. So would you rather have to live in a Big Brother house with Evanescence or live in a Big Brother house with Brink and Benjamin?
There's a bit of history there with the Evanescence thing. So probably Breaking Benjamin, I'd say. No offense to the Evanescence guys. They're just we actually just saw Ben too, and we had to catch up, and
there he goes.
And there it was.
I mean,
he was like, and I'm done. Bye.
I don't want to talk about Evanescence. All right, that's fair enough. Well, we only
he was
have
disgusted
one more,
by the question he had left. He was so offended by us bringing up Evanescence.
I apologies. I think he's attempting to get back in, but the device is not connected. We will wait until he does. In the meantime, while we wait for him to Dale, if you can still hear us, maybe try signing back in one more time.
And for those who are watching live, you can get their new album. Let's not forget to show it. It is Vicennial, 2 Decades of Seether. And that is available October 15th, I believe, which would be the 2-decade anniversary of the band coming out. Producer Jude, can we pull up that graphic one more time on the screen? Is that possible? Do we have that graphic in the back?
He sure does. There it is.
Wonderful. And here it is once more, folks. So you can check that out. 20 years, 20 songs, 2 decades of Seether.
It sounds so good when you promote it.
I would love to do like the radio commercial for this, like 20 years, 20 songs, 1 epic band, Vicennial, 2 decades of Seether. And then it cuts into like a song, blah, 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 featuring hits like available October 15th on all platforms. Pre-order now. Don't buy it at Walmart. It may be censored. Remember that? Like they used to censor the albums at Walmart. I bought DMX's Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood one day and was very disappointed when I got home and all the F words were taken out.
That is very upsetting. Very upsetting. Yeah, but okay, so until we see if Dale can rejoin us, why don't we go over our upcoming guests that we have coming up on the stream?
Because it's morphin' time.
That's right. Oh, Dale's back. I see him.
Sorry.
There he is.
I don't know what happened. My phone is...
Go back. Hurry. Go back to shelling the album. Hurry.
No, it's okay. I know we got to let you go soon. So, I guess on this note, we can kind of do the wrap up and let's talk about what you guys have coming up. I know you guys have the tour. You have some live streams, it looks like, in November. Anything else you can tell us about that?
We've got Vicennial coming out on the 15th, and then November 11th. We're doing a live stream, and what's cool about it is people can actually get on our website, seether.com, and go in and vote for what set list they want to hear. And then we'll do different live streams for the sort of different time zone that you're in. So whether you're in Australia or UK or wherever it is, there'll be a stream in your time zone, and you can vote for which songs you want to hear. and those are the songs we'll do. Yeah, so that should be kind of cool. We're just wrapping up a tour now with our good friends in Three Doors Down, and that's probably going to be it for the rest of this year for us. But yeah, we'll resume touring and everything in the new year, and keep doing what we do, making music.
Heck yeah, it's pretty insane
happen,
thinking
man.
it's the end of the year essentially. So it's
it went like that.
Things are happening quick, guys. You got to keep up.
Oh,
things are happening quick. So
we were all jailed for a year, and then we were like released. We're like, what happened?
I
Where's
know.
the time?
I know.
Imprisoned.
We're all institutionalized at this point.
Seriously, I know. I'm still trying to like figure out how I'm supposed to interact with people in person, because Josh and I have gotten so used to this platform. So now I'm like, we have to wear actual pants and not sweatpants everywhere. It's like,
I'm wearing sweatpants now. I'm sorry.
Oh, me too. Oh yeah, me too. There's
good
no
man.
debate, but well, before we let you go, we're going to go over our upcoming shows that we have coming up. So Thursday, we are joined by Catherine Sutherland and Nikia Baris from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The Pink and Yellow Ranger.
Very exciting.
Nice.
The following Tuesday, we have Nick from the band Bayside, and we are ending the month with our good friend Steve Gonzalez from Ghost Hunters and Ghost Nation. Dale, thank you so much. This has been such a blast.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
Classic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
it's
much.
Nice talking to you
Thank
guys.
You so much.
You too. And let's do this again sometime. And I hope you have a wonderful time playing your shows and fishing in Florida.
Thank you. Will do.
Vicennial, their new album is out October 15th. Go out and grab yourself a copy of 20 Years of Seether, an amazing band with amazing members. Thank you so much, Dale.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a good night. Bye.